Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Do you love Football Manager or FIFA? Well, this episode, Déjà Blue, and what we're going to be doing is looking at players that could be regens of previous players. Did that make sense? Anyway, on with the episode. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. And I am joined in the virtual room filled with some lions. I got Ollie. I've got Berth. Oh, you didn't expect that, did you? You thought it'd be Berth. Classic.
I'm like Reece James, you know. Gone
like
1
an
minute.
STD that we just can't get rid of.
I prefer Reece James, I think, but you know, yeah, we can go with that as well, Ollie, if you want.
I like the Reece James comparison more so than the one that Ollie just dropped.
The main thing is when he's playing, he's world class, and that's me.
Yes. Yes. It's a Friday show on a Friday. What are you looking forward to this weekend, team? What are we looking forward to?
I've got my first wedding anniversary this weekend. This podcast has been there through the whole journey of me getting married, and now I've been married for a year already. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I know.
Well, we are all shocked by that. Yeah, we're all shocked by that. But you know, happy for you, Ollie. Really happy for you.
I think I'm just as shocked as you are.
Berth, what about yourself?
Well, last week I had my first cricket game back of the season. Tomorrow is my second game back, and I played well last week, hoping to play well again, really.
Nice. Are you going to go watch some paint dry afterwards? Or
Here we go.
Ollie, I will find you and I will throw a cricket ball at your head.
we don't condone that behaviour here. We really don't.
I don't condone it, but it's going to happen.
Listeners, I get to go because last night the NFL draft kicked off, and you already know I will be glued to the NFL pods this weekend. I'll be soaking in those hot takes and overreactions, and honestly, obviously it kicks off about 12-1-ish for us in the UK. I woke up literally as I do in the night randomly because I drink too much water in the day. So I woke up for the loo just as we were about to draft, and I fell to my knees in the bathroom when I saw we finally took an offensive lineman. Welcome, Gray Zabel, to Seattle. I'm so happy. I'll try and catch some of the coverage over the weekend, but I've got plans. I've got plans, everyone, because I'm heading back up to Wolverhampton. I am going to watch Wolves versus Leicester. Wolves against Foxes, and if it's like the wildlife, I'm going to back the pack. I'm quite confident. Wolves are on a really hot streak of form as well. And I get to watch James
They're doing all right
Vardy
at the moment. And do you know what? At the start of the season, they couldn't buy a win, could they, under Gary O'Neill?
I think they're the most informed team right now?
They're up there. I think they've won 5 in a row in the Prem.
I know they haven't lost in A. They beat.
Good time to hit form, I suppose.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at them.
They can go above Spurs as well, can't they, if they win?
Wolves are the most informed team. 5 from 5. That's mad. I can't wait. And Leicester are bottom of that form table with 1 point in 5.
It does go to show a manager does change something sometimes. You know, like clearly, I think it was Gary O'Neill, wasn't it? He literally couldn't buy a win at the start of the season. Wolves really struggled with it. So they were right to get rid of him in the end.
Yeah. Right. Shevva shoutouts. So got some on Spotify. And there's someone I bring them up. You know, listener, what's happening next. But I'm going to go with a nice one. Jamali, do you think we should bring Tyreek George off the bench so it don't put pressure on him? Do you think we're...
That's kind of what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, should we? I think he should... It's so hard because there's so much pressure right now on every game to win. That if you were to start, you can't. There's no dead rubber games. You have to perform. I don't know if I'm going to pick anyone. You'd probably pick Everton for the team to start a game against.
I think he deserves it, though.
Yeah, I think he does deserve it. I think if he's going to start against, you're right, Mikey. He starts in any game. It'll be against Everton, surely, because the rest are probably the more pressure and more difficult, left in terms of what we have to play. So,
exactly. Next up, we got McFounds, who said, "Do you think Enzo tells players to miss shots? Undeserved win. We were the much better team. What the fuck? Every stat and an unbiased eye test backs it up. Love you guys, but my God, the negativity is disgusting. Oh, come on. All last year, you lot crapped on Poch tactics, yet now you guys talk about last season as if Poch was cruising. Young team, young manager. If you have issues, it should be with the sporting directors for not adding veterans. If you can explain what is wrong with the tactics, then tell me what you do instead." You know what? I will take criticism. I'm not going to be... I feel like it's almost like... It's the beauty of hindsight, isn't it? You look at what we have now versus what we had then, and it's the same back then. We looked at what we had under, Tuchel and stuff, and you sort of think we deserve better. Maybe it's a bit of entitlism because we're so used to winning. I wouldn't say we were cruising last season. We certainly had that form at the end. But you're right, the sporting directors, certainly. I mean, they're taking a lot of flack recently, as they should. Don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, in terms of the tactics, I mean, it depends what you're looking for, right? You can move the ball a bit quicker, you can set up a bit more defensively, you can be more attacking, you can move the ball wide a bit more, you could keep it in the centre more. There's lots of things you can do, but it's about whether he is right to a certain extent, because it's about how the players are able to do it at the moment, and they just can't right now. But again, he is correct. It's mostly down to the sporting directors fulfilling the squad that can't do what the manager wants them to do.
Yeah, 100%. And I now move to Chaska. Awesome podcast, guys. Keep up the good work. Shout out from Jakarta, Indonesia. First of all, wow. Okay. Wow, that's
nice.
Awesome.
Shout out Jakarta.
And then, fun fact, I've religiously listened to the pod for a few years on Spotify, so I don't really know how any of you look like. But it's funny that every time I tune in, I always imagine British versions of Michael Rappaport, Michael B. Jordan, Jason Kelsey, and Peter Crouch getting together for a laugh. Try to have a guess on who's who.
I'll be honest. I don't think any of us look like Michael B. Jordan.
No,
I think he's probably the most. Also, he's probably the most beautiful man in the world.
If I was
world.
If I was
he's good looking
taller, I would look like Peter Crouch, maybe.
I think I look a bit like Peter Crouch, to be honest with you.
I think you dance like Peter Crouch.
I'll take Jason Kelsey because of the NFL things.
And Jason Rappaport's Chris, yeah?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah,
We've got criticism again, and I'm going to defend our man here because, I have one, and I'm not going to be cruel. I'm never cruel. Cam has said the Ollie guy has zero ball knowledge, just repeats himself every week. The other guys do much
we know
better.
that, though, to be fair.
Yeah, everyone knows that already.
The other guys do much better, have actual knowledge and points. I didn't pay him to, or pay her, because Cam could be a female. I didn't pay them to say that. But hey, but I think from Ollie's points, Ollie says what he sees. Like I say what I see, and Berth and Chris the same. If he's repeating himself every week, he's seeing the same bollocks or the same winners every week. That's pretty much the job.
You know what? What I think about Ollie is that he's a very passionate guy when it comes to Chelsea. He wears his heart on his sleeves. Obviously, we don't always agree with each other, Oliver, but, you're entitled to your opinion. That's okay. You could be right, you could be wrong. Yeah, definitely wrong on that point.
I mean, Ollie is right on that point.
But no, he's not. But Ollie's got ball knowledge. Ollie's got very good ball knowledge.
I've got some ball knowledge. I don't think I'm up there with you, Berth, but I like to think I'm doing.
Hey, but clearly,
Cam, you disagree. And that's fair enough because we live in a world where we're allowed to disagree.
Exactly. All right, listeners. I've of course sneaked song titles from a band or an artist into my Friday script. Last week I was very pissed off and I took the episode off, but I am back on it today. Keep your ears open. When you figure it out, just drop us a comment on Spotify or wherever. With that, news time. It's that time of the week, checking out news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea news. Borussia Dortmund want to keep Carnage at the Mecca and are set to open talks with Chelsea. Chelsea considered whether they needed to bring in cover for the suspended Mykhailo Mudryk. They decided against it, with insiders saying Corey George's progress played a part in their deliberations. Mykhailo Mudryk has passed a lie detector test as he bids to clear his name. Chelsea could let Christopher Nkunku leave for as little as €40 million this summer. Manchester United lost out on signing Eden Hazard, who eventually joined Chelsea after club chiefs refused his agent's demand that they pay him $1 million via the club and several million more direct from the owners. And finally, Anthony Coulson, GM at McVitie's Chocolate Biscuit Factory in Stockport, sparked a bit of an online storm this week by declaring that chocolate digestives should be eaten chocolate side down. Honestly, that's how I've always eaten them.
Do you want to know a really controversial opinion? And I mean really controversial opinion.
What?
Chocolate digestives aren't that good.
I prefer a chocolate hobnob.
I kind of do agree with you. The caramel ones are good.
Oh, they used to do a coffee one as well. That was nice.
You know what though? If you like going to like Dunkin' biscuits in a tea, which is a really British thing for me to say, I think normal digestives are way better than chocolate ones.
I actually agree with that. Do you know what the problem is with digestives? Is they're usually too big. Like they're at their widest point, they're too wide for a mug.
Yeah, they are. That's why you nibble a bit off, dunk it in. Perfect.
You see, this guy's a seasoned pro.
I am a pro.
Everyone stop listening already.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I don't come on so much because I just talk shit. But you know, it's good. A digestive in a tea is good. Same as a hobnob, prefer without chocolate.
Honestly, those McVitie's coffee caramel ones were gorgeous, but they only did them in 2020, which I understand. I'm not going to go, oh, I'd love to go back. I don't want to go back to that year. No, but
chocolate side down though is outrageous, Mikey.
I'm dead genuinely. I'm going to put it in the Spotify poll.
You've defended me, but honestly, maybe you shouldn't have done.
That's right. It's so like honestly, I had this conversation with my girlfriend. She was like, "It's chocolate side up," and I'm like, "No, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not."
It's do you know what it is? It's on like all the packaging and the marketing material and like the ads and everything.
I know.
It's chocolate side up. That's why it feels
you're
wrong.
Right.
You're right. You're right. You know, it's like saying like which way is actually north. We just kind of decided it was that way.
I think why people listen to this podcast is because of these sort of chats.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I have zero biscuit knowledge, we've discovered apparently. But one thing I will talk about. Can we talk about CSI London? I think this might be the first time I've ever heard of a player taking a lie detector test to prove their innocence.
Oh, that's amazing.
It made me laugh so much because it's like they're not going to use it, are they? Everyone knows lie detectors aren't admissible for like
you can't use them in court.
I mean, what does it prove as well? Like, what does it? Like, I could take a lie detector test and say I've got a good hairline, but I haven't.
Yeah, but the thing as well, because you're right, Berth, because like I don't think the test dictates that he failed it, right? And him saying I didn't do it, even if he believes he didn't do it, and he's found on a lie detector test to say that he hasn't done it, or like he didn't do it knowingly, he's still done it.
I mean, this feels like, I don't look. You can't just claim ignorance here. I'm sorry. This feels like someone trying to sort of feign ignorance to escape guilt or the embarrassment. To me, there are two scenarios here. Either one, you are genuinely playing the fool and you know exactly what's going on, or two, you are genuinely completely oblivious to everything that's been put into your body or prescribed by other people. And I just feel that, as I'm not a professional athlete, so this is just an opinion, I find it hard to believe someone wouldn't be aware of what's going into them, because we know how on it these athletes are. They want the best. They want to get the extra advantage. I feel like you're going to know. I don't know whether there's a strategy here to play dumb rather than just take the blame.
Do you know what I think happened is because the substance he found is quite common, I think, in Ukraine and in a lot of the sort of the post-Soviet world. And I reckon what happened is he was given it and he was told by someone that it's all right, but it wasn't. That's what I think really happened. Because as a footballer, you do have to trust the opinions of like so-called experts around you, and sometimes those experts don't have your best interest at heart.
That is a very good point. I don't know how it will play out because, you know, legally we know nothing. We genuinely know nothing. We're still waiting on
not even legally. We just know nothing. Full stop.
We just know nothing. Yeah. Nothing about football. No
Yeah.
biscuits. Nothing. Was there anything particularly from the news other than what I've just said that you want to talk about before we go to Kingsmeadow?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. It's quite a quiet one, isn't it? Really,
it's so quiet.
Yeah,
because we don't. When we don't play in the week, the men's team just get loads of PR, like the Tyreek George thing. I was like, that's PR.
Oh, do you know? No, there is one thing that came up. Isha Samuels Smith, the sort of left back, centre back from the academy, signed his first pro deal. he's going to be possibly playing for the club in the next year, like maybe some minutes at the Club World Cup and stuff. So that's quite a good thing for the academy and for him. And like, it's nice as well. It probably shows us that Renato Vega will be out the door because we do need someone to fill that left back sort of left centre back kind of slot when Cucurella is not playing there. So yeah, it could be him.
Yeah, I saw Simon Johnson at The Athletic had said that Disasi, Vega, Chalobah and Tosin are potential. So I ain't being funny. If you watch any game with Disasi at right back, like I said, he's great for centre-back depth. I said that for the Conference League, but as a right back, he sucks. And yet again, he sucked. So what do you expect? Right, Kingsmeadow corner, because Chelsea took on Crystal Palace in the WSL. Chelsea, 4. Crystal Palace, 0. No one was remembering Sunday with that Barcelona result, were they? We got it out the system. We aren't runaways with the title just yet, but
blew them away though, didn't we? You know,
yeah,
they are bottom. They are bottom. You
That's
kind of
true,
expected 4. You expected the minimum. What were your overall takeaways from it though?
Just, do you know what? It scored 2 goals in a minute at the start. I like the ruthlessness. You know, like obviously it was it Brighton? Guro got the penalty, scored the pen.
Yes,
I think.
I believe so.
And then Katerina Macario, you know, pounces on some really poor defending from Palace. You know, left her wide open in the middle for the second goal, and within 2 minutes, basically, the game was over. From there, we kind of coasted, scored a couple more, but
yeah,
it's kind of what I expected to see. Like you say, Palace are bottom of the WSL, so it's not like they were really going to give us a game. Then again, you know, the men lost to Ipswich, once and drew once. So, you know, it's not great.
I hate to bash Palace here, and I really am not doing this to make them feel. If you're a Palace fan, I'm sorry. You had a total of 0 shots all game.
Yeah,
how do you do that?
It was a very dominant performance for sure.
I mean, why did we have Hannah? She could have just come off on just sat on the bench and we'd had another player on and make a full 11 outfielders. Because, oh man, she did nothing. She didn't need to do anything. Her gloves were as clean as when she put them on first minute. Oh, Berth, what were your takeaways? I've got a fair few because, you know,
I mean, it was just dominant, weren't it? It was just a much needed result after the game before, to be fair.
Oh yeah,
you kind of saw it coming. You kind of knew that someone was going to get a good idea, basically. Yeah. And you know, that ruthlessness that obviously the men's team just haven't got is so prominent in the women's team, and it was just relentless, and it probably could have been more. Good performance, really what they needed, to be fair, for the result before. But yeah, I mean, it's coming, isn't it? Really, that title. So,
I mean, look, for me, I'll go with my winners. I always do some quick fire wins. Me official. Oh my word! Technically her third game back, but if we're being really honest, this was her first real run out with proper minutes, and it was a full 45. It was a true poacher's
and she was everywhere as well. She was really getting about the place. Obviously, got a goal as well with the little flick on. You know,
I love that.
Really, you know, I saw a lot of commitment in her play. You know, and that's nice to see, like a statement of intent for coming back proper.
Yeah, she's a bloody talented player, and we forget just how long she's been out injured. And I just love to see it. She's back. I love to see it. And another player back, Naomi Girma. I mean, clocked some solid minutes, which is realistically, I think that's more about building towards next season rather than this one, thanks to obviously the injury setback. But I feel like, you know, getting her into that WSL rhythm early is not a bad thing. It's all about the long term more so than obviously this campaign. And hey, I've got 2 more for quickfire winners. BBC's coverage, because this kind of needs its own spotlight. Because shout out to the BBC microphone team for blessing us with 90 minutes of Sonia Bonpastor shouting tactical instructions like an elite sideline manager she is. And Discord noticed it too. And I honestly it was tactical ASMR. It was so brilliant. And again, on that note, Sonia Bonpastor, my final quickfire winner, because her post-match comments just oozed the Emma Hayes successor energy. And I'll read it. It could have finished with 6 or 7 and we only scored 4. It's not good enough. Oh, ruthless standards. Love that. Oh,
and Emma Hayes, she was on commentary as well.
Look, it was honestly, they really did well this week. I thought the BBC did. They really
I was quite impressed.
Yeah. Negatives. I'm still looking. I haven't got any news on this, but Millie Bright's knee. It's not the celebration you want for your 200th WSL appearance. Ice was strapped on.
I think she'll be okay.
You know what? I was pissed off because no one bothered to ask about it post game. No, like I get you celebrating the 200, fully agree, but it's like this is a big thing. Like that's a lot of ice on your knee. You know, I'm worried. Because we need her. I mean, I know you could say, we got the WSL. No, she's incredible. We need that. We need our captain. And I'm so sorry, Joanna writing Cannerid. I adore her. I do. That's 22 games without a goal. And at the start of the season,
Crikey, yeah, she was absolutely firing at the start of the season. You know,
she was flying.
I remember us saying that she could have been our player of the season at one point.
Yeah.
You know, so she's really fallen off, bless her.
She's basically the 2024 New Orleans Saints. Hot out of the gate, then bam, offensive, just their whole output disappears. She does play a key role, but I just miss her confidence in that final third. I know I'm a bit biased, Scandinavian connect, but I genuinely really want to see her back and firing. And I keep also wondering when Sam Kerr's coming back, because damn, I'm seriously missing you, Sam.
I think they're going to be. She's going to be a little while. I think that it's not going to be until next season that we see her proper. I think that they'd rather just leave it at this point because it's so late in the season. If she wasn't going to play against someone like, I know it sounds silly, but if they weren't going to try and rush her back to get her in the game against Barcelona somehow, there's no reason to play her in anything else.
No. And so, at what point do we finally get to be popping champagne celebrating this WSL then?
I don't know. How many games have we got left?
We have.
Can't be many, surely.
We've got 3. I say that nervously because I've done this before and missed out a game. We don't have one in hand, I don't think. Would be nice if this bloody thing loaded. Yeah, we got 3. So we've got
3. So if we win, if
Man United away, Spurs away, Liverpool at home to close out the season.
How many points clear are we? We're 6 points clear. So we win the next one, we've basically done it.
Yeah, Man United. It's Arsenal have got some momentum suddenly, and I'm not worried. But we're level on goal difference, so it's not like we have that extra point, is it? Hey, Barcelona up next this weekend, though. But look, let's be real. It would take some kind of disaster on their part to let 4 past them. I mean, stranger things have happened. I'm not.
If we, like Chris said last week, if we manage to do it, it will be the greatest comeback in the history, certainly of women's football.
Oh, I would fully agree.
Maybe in terms of actual football.
Yeah, I would fully agree. Right. A few weeks back, listener Ira Zalia dropped a question. It was so damn good that I had no choice but to turn it into a full segment. So the question was, if the current Chelsea first team were regens in Football Manager 2025, or you could say FIFA, the AFC, whatever, which historic Chelsea or Premier League legend would they most resemble in style, strengths, or chaos? So they use an example, and it was Robert Sanchez was David Calamity James. Now, David James was really good for, was it Liverpool? Well, I mean, he won the FA Cup with Pompey, didn't he? So
I mean, David James actually made saves as well.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So that was I don't think Robert Sanchez deserves that title. But anyway, we're just gonna pick a handful of Chelsea players each. We have. I don't know who they've picked. They don't know who I've picked. Past or present, I guess. I've gone both. Match each one with their spiritual predecessor. So whether that's greatness, chaos, vibes, whatever. Looking for their football soulmate. I'll kick this off because I've gone really easy here, and I'm so sorry, but sometimes the obvious one is the right one. I have gone Caicedo as Chelsea's Makalele. Elite ball winner, unreal anticipation. He reads the game like he's got cheat codes. He knows what the other team are doing, and he just covers ground. Do
you think he's more of a Makalele than a Kante?
I think he's more Kante than Makalele.
I literally just described N'Golo Kante.
Yeah,
I was halfway. I really should reread when I've wrote stuff out. Yeah, I think N'Golo Kante is what. Oh, that was a terrible choice. Oh dear, I've kicked this off terribly. But
I don't think it's a bad choice because I do think
but it's wrong.
No, I don't think so. Like,
No, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I think I think Caicedo does resemble Makaleli a lot. I was just getting your opinion on why you would have gone for him over, say, Kante, because
I am
for
not.
me,
I'm
there's more
U-turning.
perceived similarities for Kante.
Yeah, I'm U-turning. Ollie, who have you got? Who's one of yours?
I've gone. I've tried to go a bit niche with some of the squad players I've picked. So the first one I've picked is Nathaniel. So not Nathaniel, his brother, Trevor Chalobah. And the player who I think he reminds me of a lot is Gary Cahill.
Ooh,
And the
okay.
reason I say that is because he's tall, he's physical, he's sort of a no-nonsense centre back. You know, he does pop up with a goal every now and then. He's decent in the air. You know, I don't know. That's something, and he as well. He has a kind of Gary Cahill energy where like he's not the best defender in the world, but he is one of the hardest working, and that's what I quite like about a Trev. And it's what reminds me of Cahill so much in his game.
I like that one. I like that one.
Not bad, not bad. What about yourself, Berth?
I've tried to be like Ollie, really, and go for something a bit sort of left field. And I've gone for Pedro Neto and Damien Duff.
Oh, I love that.
I like that.
Just because I think both electric, both probably don't get the goals that they should, but I think they're both electric, both out-and-out wingers. I think the movement's very similar. I think they cut in off the left or right very well. Both got a good left foot on them. And I think just a lot of similarities between the two. I really like Pedro Neto. I always have to be fair. I know he's not set the world alight this season, but yeah, he just reminds me of Damien Duff a bit. To be fair,
Okay,
I like that. I really like that as a show.
I went cheeky. I've got to say, I put Mykhailo Mudryk is Adrian Mutu. I can't say anymore. I've been advised not to say anymore. Ollie, Ollie, what about yourself?
Next, I've gone with Enzo Fernandez. Excuse me. And the player who I've gone with, who I think mimics his current style of play the most, is Xabi Alonso.
Oh,
that's going to get absolute pelters online.
I know
from Chris, but I like it.
But I'm not saying he's as good as Xabi Alonso, because I don't think he is. But I think his style of play is modelled off of Xabi Alonso. Like, I don't think he's not the flashiest player, but he does have an eye for a ball. He's a good ball playing midfielder, sits a little deeper, gets stuck in the tackle, does pop up with the odd goal. I don't know. It feels to me like there's a lot of similarities. I know Xabi Alonso was a fair bit taller than Enzo is, but yeah, I see a lot of similarities in the way they played the game.
Okay. I like that. What about you? What have you got, Berth?
Again, another one, you're probably not going to expect the name, but I want to go with Cole Palmer and Matt Letizia.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I am scared for his post-retirement career, what he's going to do.
But I just think the way they play, both absolute mavericks, both have just got unbelievable techniques, glide across the football pitch.
Mm-hmm. Really nice touch.
Yeah, really nice touch. Both scored just ridiculous goals. Both very, very slow, but at the same time, just both geniuses. And I think the way very laid back on a football pitch, you didn't really ever see Matt Letizia go mad or anything like that. Same as Cole Palmer. Just special talents and proper mavericks and
the penalties.
And the penalties, yeah. I forgot about that. But yeah, I think that's a good comparison, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got a double here. I've got right. So I've got Kevin De Bruyne and Mo Salah, but the Chelsea versions. They're two world-class players, like just not at Chelsea. So I looked at what they were just next big things, really, passing through Cobham, really. I mean, they had brilliance. They had a lot of hype, if I'm honest, but no end product for us. I have to be fair. They didn't. So I had to think about who they reminded me of when they were at Chelsea, not in their prime at the other clubs. We'll go on to that in a second. And my mind went to David Bentley and David Dunn at Blackburn. I was like, they've got all there's talent there. They've got a lot of noise, not much to show. Like, I think David Bentley, and I think of more to do with his stuff in Marbella and his like clubs or bar thing, and David Dunn for doing a Rabona, but he didn't come off well. But he did that at Blues, I think. I don't think he did that at Blackburn.
He did that at Blues, yeah.
But look, I also was looking at who followed a similar pathway to Salah and De Bruyne after a big move, because Chelsea is a big move. And then they improved elsewhere. So for De Bruyne, I'm choosing Martin Odegaard, because he never made it at Real Madrid. He went to Sociedad on loan, then he earned a move to Arsenal, where he's now one of the best in the league. And I sort of saw, where did De Bruyne go? He went obviously to Wolfsburg, and then he moves back to City. So I feel like obviously it's hard to find players that are that good. I'm not saying they're the exact players, because that's not possible, For Salah, that was harder, because his story is a unicorn. I mean, it is. No one expected him to come back and be like one of the greatest goal scorers in Premier League history. No one expected that. So I had to choose Serge Gnabry, because it was at Arsenal's academy. He didn't score goals for them at all. Mm-hmm. So you could apply that to us. He then moves to Werder Bremen, got respectable 11 in 27. Still not great. Again, that's Salah like at Roma or Fiorentina. And then he earns a big move to Bayern, where he hits double figures for 4 straight seasons. Yeah, they're not Salah numbers. That's the best I got. It's the best I got for you, because it's very hard to find.
Yeah, that. I like that. I think that's fair.
Oh, Ollie, have you got? I've only got one more. I've got 2 more. Oh, I want to hear him.
Well, both of them? You want both of them?
No, one at a time,
all
please.
Right. First one, I also made one about Pedro Neto, like Berth did. I don't think I was quite as kind as Berth, who went with Damien Duff. I've gone with Timo Werner.
Oh no!
No, what? He's better than Timo Werner. Because...
He is, but the way they play is very similar. Like I like. Don't confuse me for me saying they have the same level of ability. They don't. Neto is the Ronaldo of Werner's. Like he is the best out there at at that kind of style.
Okay.
But also, they both kind of play off the left. They're both quick. They both also can play up front sometimes. They both miss quite a lot of chances. There's a lot of comparisons there. I liked Werner a lot when he was at Chelsea, and I think Neto is better than him. But they definitely have a similar style of play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
What have you got?
You can do past Chelsea players, can't we?
Of course you can.
So,
I just did.
I'm just double checking. I want to go Diego Costa.
Okay.
And for me, he always reminded me of Gabriel Batistuta.
Oh. Okay.
Both rugged, both unbelievable strikers, physical, quick, could score from pretty much anywhere. Never really knew what he's going to get from them. Obviously, both South American, so it was just a good comparison, because always a Batistuta, always a bit of a cult hero of mine. Diego Costa, cult hero. Fans love him when he plays for your team. Fans hate him when he doesn't. And for me, I just thought it was a good comparison.
Honestly, like Batistuta is just absolute legend. And it's a shame, because he retired obviously 2005, so I was 12 then, so I didn't actually get to see him. I really remember a goal against Man United in the Champions League.
Yeah, when he's about 35 yards out.
Yeah, I remember that purely because of obviously the kits and everything else, and because it was on ITV when it was free to air. So but other than that, I have no memories of him. And that really, and the World Cup in 2002, I remember that, and I'm pretty sure he played. I mean, I hope he did. Otherwise, I've got some kind of memory of it when he didn't. Yeah. Who have you got, Ollie, finally?
My final one is Nicholas Jackson. And I've gone with a player who I think embodies what he was like a lot, maybe in all but finishing. But I'm going to go with Liverpool's Daniel Sturridge.
Oh, I like that, actually, yeah.
They're both that kind of more mobile striker, doesn't hold the ball up quite so much, but surprisingly physical, low centre of gravity, runs the channels well. Yeah, Sturridge was probably a better, more talented natural finisher, I think, but he was also very much a dribbler. He was a trickster. Jackson's quite similar in that regard. I see a lot of the same play in Jackson that I did back in Sturridge, but only Liverpool Sturridge, not Chelsea Sturridge.
Right, I'll load up my final one. I got Noni Madueke as a regen of Hatem Ben Arfa, because I feel that if you loaded up a Football Manager save and you wanted a regen player with elite flair, 18 dribbling, 5 decision making, you'd get Madueke, because he's incredible on the ball. When he goes forward, you're like, oh, he's talented. He's got bags of skill. he's completely unpredictable once he's past his man. He genuinely, he could curl one into the top corner, or he could trip over the ball or put it wide. I have no idea. He's a walking highlight reel. His end product isn't the greatest. Bit like peak Ben Arfa, absolute highlight reel player.
Yeah, I like that. I think, there is not necessarily similar in terms of the style of play, because I think Ben Arfa was a bit trickier and Noni's a bit more direct. But I think sort of like the chaotic vibe that they bring is quite similar.
I've got a feeling that Madueke is more loved by his teammates as well. Because you hear stories. You hear stories about Ben Arfa, how he was at clubs, but you can Google those, listener. You can Google them. Berth, do you have any left?
I've got one more, and it's only a quick one. I'll go for Levi Colwell, and it's going to be Jerome Boateng. Now,
yeah, all right, go on.
I've all the attributes of being a really, really world-class centre-back. Don't always show it. Have glimpses. Strong, physical, quick, good on the ball, but always think there's another gear to his play and to his level. I think he could be a world-class centre-back. I just need to see it more. He's too inconsistent with it at the minute. So, and for me, Jerome Boateng was very similar to that. Always a decent level club, always had the potential, never quite really fulfilled it. I thought it was a good comparison.
Right, there you go, listeners. We've done our regens. Let us know what yours could be or what they are. We'd be I'm interested. Drop us in Spotify comments or tweet us, whichever, Discord, whichever. And if they're on the Spotify, we'll definitely read them out next on Monday. So yeah, okay. Line of the week, because we get to preview a game, because Saturday we welcome Everton to the Bridge. Should we find out what the state of Everton is? Well, they're currently sitting in 13th. They have a record of 8 wins, 14 draws and 11 defeats. Recent form, 1 win, 2 draws, 2 defeats. Spotlight time. Who should you be keeping an eye on? Monday's episode, I said Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I have now since found out that he's injured and has been since January.
Of course he is.
Don't think he's going to play. So I got lazy and said Jordan Pickford, because to win, you're going to have to put the ball past him. And he's third in the clean sheet charts.
Is McNeil injured? Do we know? If he's playing, he might do some damage.
Hang on, let me check. Considering I thought Calvert-Lewin was playing, which again sort of says a lot about. I don't pay attention to Everton. I'm sorry.
Beto's done well for him recently.
Yeah, McNeil he did play against City on the 19th of April.
So he'll probably play. I think he could cause some damage up front. Like he's going to be their biggest attacking outlet, I think.
And then got Tarkowski.
Beto is a handful.
I mean,
I'm telling you now, Beto's a handful.
I mean, the first half of the season, he was dog shit.
Look, for me, I'm saying Pickford's one to watch for good and bad, because he also loves what I'm going to call a Robert Sanchez. He loves doing a Robert Sanchez at times. And they haven't got Tarkowski in front of him. I think that they're there to be got at. I really do. I don't think there is any excuse not to win this game. Like, there is no excuse. And I'm weirdly confident.
It's a must win, but that's the worry, isn't it? It's a must win against the team that we should be beating.
And you know what?
I don't know how it could go.
Well, the last time Everton beat Chelsea in the Premier League at the Bridge was on the 26th of November, 1994. I finally get to go back to before the millennium. It wouldn't be a preview, of course, without me telling you what was the UK #1 hit when this happened. And it was Let Me Be Your Fantasy by Baby D. And that's a song I know. And it goes, let me be your fantasy. And listeners, if you want to hear me continue singing that, I'm going to be performing this Saturday night at karaoke after a few Jaeger bombs. No, I'll be doing it on the train home from the Wolves game. I'm safe to say I'll be thrown out one of the windows. Who are we predicting for Lion of the Week? What are we predicting against Everton?
It's not going to be a great game, is it? I don't think.
Why have you said that? We've got to hype this game up as one of the biggest of the season.
It isn't.
No, it is a big game. It's just I don't think it's going to be a good game.
I'll go Palmer. I'll go Cole Palmer.
Fucking hell, really? After his recent games?
Yeah. Cole Palmer.
I'm going to back my boy, the Ronaldo of Werner's, Pedro Neto.
Same. I actually wrote this before the game, before the episode.
I'll change it then.
No. You stick with what you went. I say stick with because I went.
What's the wheel say?
The wheel. I went back to back Neto because I thought, yeah, why not? He's done me right one. Oh dear. I don't know. He doesn't play for us anymore. Why is Axel Disasi on the list?
Change the wheel.
Yeah, I must say that is true. Wesley Fofana. Well, he's injured, so he's not going to
change the wheel, man.
I can't remove the amount of injured players we've got. I got Mark Gue on here still. Jorgensen. Well, he ain't going to play. We'll be hearing him. Yeah, one of these players has got to really.
The crowd's loving it, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson. There we go.
Hey. There we go.
I'll update the wheel over the. It went Jackson last time against Fulham.
There's probably no point updating it now. The season's going to be done really soon. So
yeah, well, gotta be a professional pod. Remember. Yep. Christmas questions. Oh, good vibes on the Discord asked. Question going on from Chris's segment from the last episode before last. If you could only sign 3 players this off season, although it's a double season, who would you sign? And they've chosen for their signings Jonathan Tah, experienced and free, worth the risk. Winger, Luis Diaz, experienced, Prem experience, good from left wing, which we currently don't get, and always in the news saying Liverpool open to selling, so I think we could get a good price. Striker Gyökeres, man scores goals and creates goals. Release clause, actually a good price for someone this good. Decide against signing a goalkeeper because I would like to think we would start Petrovic, but that would make sense, so won't do that. You got a point there. I don't think we'd get Luis Diaz. Liverpool aren't selling to a rival.
I think Luis Diaz would be shit for us. I don't know why. I just
especially
feel
Pedro
like
Neto.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's the Di Maria of Vernus.
I'll tell you, I'm going to go with 3 here. I'm not even going to expand. I'm just going to go with 3. I'm going to go Kelleher in goal. I'm going to buy him from Liverpool. He might be on a free. I'm going to go De Bruyne on a free. And I'm going to go Gyökeres.
I have seen about that. Yeah.
I think I would get Gyökeres if Isak wasn't available. I think I'd like Gyökeres, but I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I know. Maybe I like Huijsen as well.
I would take
Housen.
I would take Dean Housen. I would take him.
I'd take Zabani, to be fair. Zabani's good as well from Bournemouth.
Housen. Okay. Who else? I'm trying to think.
I saw links with Frank Anguissa this week. I was like, bloody hell. I forgot about him. He's really improved at Napoli.
The midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah. He was at Fulham, and he weren't great. He weren't.
No, I don't know who else I would pick. It's not up to us, Gary.
I've gone Dean Housen. For the midfield.
De Bruyne. Get De Bruyne in.
Yeah, De Bruyne's a good shout, to be honest. Even if he plays like 5 games a season, having him in the dressing room is good enough. Striker,
I say Harry Kane. He's got a release clause. We know what it is. I'd pay it and say, look, we'll make
give it a go. Why
we'll
not?
We'll break our wage structure for you. You can get the goal scoring record from Shearer, and you can win trophies. Because I think you put Harry Kane in this team. For some reason, I just feel that he'll score goals. He's
you like test the waters,
English. But... He's the English Ronaldo. You buy that player, he scores goals.
Yeah.
That's what I say. When I say English Ronaldo, I'm not saying he is Ronaldo. He's not that good.
I just don't think he'd join us. I think he's got too much loyalty.
Dude was an Arsenal fan. And then he played for Spurs. Do the Gallas. Do it.
Do it.
JBH asks, can Maresca win back the fans without changing his style of play? And if results improve, but our style doesn't, are fans still going to be anti-Maresca? I think results always dictate popularity. I mean, if you win, you win. People are never going to moan too much about a win.
I don't think it's as much like that anymore. I think back in the day when Mourinho was about then, but nowadays I think people generally want to watch us play good football, which I think is ridiculous.
But considering I complain about our style of play, actually,
unfortunately, Maresca doesn't win, so it's like, and he just don't help himself.
It doesn't
balance,
help,
isn't there?
I think what would win back the fans is if he stopped doing those stupid press conferences and saying stupid things like today when he said that stupid thing about doubling down on we were in the top 4 for so long that we were never in the top 4 last year. I'm like, mate, no one gives a shit about that. No one cares about where we were. They want to know where we'll finish. That's
finish
what
top
matters.
four. Finish top four, and then come out with that statement.
Yeah, then come out and say it. Yeah,
not now.
Don't fail to do it, and then come out, like giving it the big one about something else, or and then we'll just own it. Just be like, we tried to do it, we didn't do it. It was a failure. We'll do better. It's not hard. Just have some accountability.
Exactly. Webb asks, Dean Howson, is it a red flag we're about to sign him? No, because Chris predicted he'd be the signing of the summer.
The only reason Real Madrid just don't want to pay 50 million for him, do they? Basically, that's kind of it. I think he prefers Real Madrid, but they don't want to pay that much for him, and we do.
Real Madrid are an interesting club because this year, all I've got from them is that they seem like they've got that arrogant entitlement issue, because obviously they skipped the Ballon d'Or because Vinny didn't win, and I've just seen come up that Real Madrid are considering not playing in the Copa del Rey final unless the referees and VAR are changed. I mean, you can't do that. You can't
They should just forfeit the game.
If they forfeit, I will laugh so much because you've given up a trophy. You have literally given up a trophy. Come on. And Greg asks, love listening to you guys. Never missed a pod since I've been listening since 2022. Being a Chelsea fan since 1999. I come from the land down under. And my question is, with the young talent coming in next season or the one after, granted, I won't put too much expectation on the young lads, but the likes of Esteval, Pais, and even Santos, do you think any of them fit Maresca's system? You just spoke about how we always sign counter-attacking players, and I wonder if these guys will strive or flop. Oh, man. I think Pais is obviously going to Strasbourg, so we need to see how he performs there. I'm not going to judge him. Esteval, we need to stop this absolute hype we've put on him, because he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. He will. He wins 3 in a row. That's what it feels like. We've put the hype on him. It's like, I haven't seen him play in Europe yet. Let's wait for that, and then we'll start saying, "Oh yeah, okay." He could be he could be like Vinny Jr. He could come from Brazil, be outstanding. Who knows?
I'd like to see Santos get a run of games.
I'd love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, Santos has to start. I'm just thinking, what a Brazilian wonder kids that came over.
I don't think he has to start. I don't think Santos has to start.
I don't think anyone coming in has to start. Yeah. Because I mean, arguably, you could say someone like Esteval maybe is going to be pushing Noni early on for that spot. But I think Santos is really good, but I don't think he can come in and be entitled to a start immediately, even when he's been as good as he has been at Strasbourg. I think either he comes in and he starts alongside Caicedo and Enzo in a new formation, 3 in the middle, or he starts on the bench, which I don't think is the craziest thing for a young player like him.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard when you compare any players. I'll just sort of look at hype. So you had, obviously, and one of my favourites, because he played for Flamengo and he's incredible, and that was Gabriel Barbosa. He just scored goals for fun. And then obviously he goes to Inter Milan, it doesn't work. So it's such a huge step up, because you've got, like, remember Kennedy? He was
supposed to be Neymar as well, wasn't he?
And it never worked. Pato, I'm not going to criticise because injuries just hit him, and that's just unfortunate. You had, obviously, Ganzo. I remember always signing him on FIFA because he was, like, hyped up and he was incredible.
Kakuta.
Yeah.
Do you remember him? Yeah.
Exactly. Obviously, he didn't play him. I'm just thinking, like, solely in Brazil. I mean, wasn't it the world record fee for Denilson? That was back in the late night.
Yeah.
Did nothing in Europe. I think we just need to be realistic with our expectations of Esteval. Let's not put too much pressure. He might thrive under the pressure. He might love it. He might want to do that. But I think you bring him in, expect him to be good, not world class, good. And
do you know what? Expect him to struggle with transitioning to the physicality of the league. That's what I would say. Expect him to struggle.
I mean, even Enzo Fernandez sort of struggled with the Premier League at first. I mean, he also
and he's
played
a lot
with a hernia.
stockier than Esteval.
Yeah, he played with a hernia, obviously, issue. And this season, he's been much better. And that is because he's adapted and also recovered from a very, a hernia is nothing to mess about with. So,
no.
Yeah. We will wrap up today's show with Berth's favourite game that he's never here for. Lone Army Carousel. Got a category for it. Give me an answer that fits the category. Boom, boom, boom. The category is 115 reasons why. Because we had Arsenal last time, and this time we have Manchester City. So I want you to name me the 20 biggest sales in the club's history according to Transfermarkt. And all fees have been converted from euros to pounds, so they might be a little weird. but it's just easier for us because if I say euros, I'm like, what? I don't. I'm no good at converting.
So is this players that Man City have sold? Sorry, not bought.
Yes, in their history. So if you say Haaland, I'm going to go, no, they haven't sold him yet. So, Berth, it's your first in a while. I feel like you've been here last Friday. I forgot. Were you?
No, I think I was here the Friday before.
Oh, there we go. But give me a player that could be one of the 20 biggest sales in City's history.
I'm going to go for Julian Alvarez.
£64.5 million this season to Atletico.
Jesus.
He is their biggest sale. I'll be nice.
I'm going to go with Leroy Sané.
Oh, that is
42.14 million to Bayern Munich in 2020-21.
I'm going to go for Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer, 40.42 million last season.
Sterling.
Raheem Sterling, 48.33 million to Chelsea in 22-23. Chris is somewhere crying about that.
I'm going to go for Ferran Torres.
Ferran Torres. Well, you'd be right.
Remember him?
47.3 million, Barcelona 21-22. Don't even know if he's still there or if he still plays.
Gabriel Jesus.
44.89 million, Arsenal 22-23.
Zinchenko, who went the same time.
Yep, 30.1 million, 22-23.
Mahrez?
Riyad Mahrez, 30.1 million to Al Ahly last season.
This is a bit of a throwback, but I can't remember how much you bought him for. Sean Wright Phillips.
It's £27 million in 05-06. Like I said, I remember that's insane money back then. Like, it's insane.
Oh, I'm struggling now. Laporte.
Merrick Laporte, 23.65 to Al Nassr last season.
I want to go for Danilo.
Yes, 31.8. Juventus, 19-20 season.
Cancelo.
João Cancelo to Al Hilal, 21.5 million. Ironically, would be a very good inverted fullback at Chelsea, but would probably get pissed off and leave.
I'm going to go for Iheanacho.
Oh, 23.8 million to Leicester in 2017.
The thinking man's striker. Balotelli?
Balotelli, 17.2 to AC Milan in 2012-2013.
Ooh, Negredo.
24 million from Valencia to Valencia in 15-16.
How many have we got left, by the way?
Yeah, we can't have many.
You have 2, 3, 4, 5 players left.
Joe Hart.
Oh, Berth, you've won.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well done, Berth.
Yeah.
Could you name any of the other 5?
I'm gonna.
Was Yaya Toure on?
No.
I want to say Angelino.
For free.
15.4 million to Leipzig. Yeah, 21-22.
Robinho, did they sell him to AC Milan?
18 million to AC Milan in 2010-11. 3 more.
Brahim Diaz.
No. This one's a goalkeeper.
Oh, Trafford.
Yeah, 14 million, 14.8 to Burnley. The last two, the one I didn't even know went for that much.
Oh, is Harwood Bellis one?
Yes, 19.7 million.
Harwood Bellis. Yeah.
Jan Couto to Dortmund for 21.5 million. I'll be honest, I should know ball, but I don't because I've never heard of him. I know of him, but I didn't know he was sold for that much.
That's ridiculous.
Because he was, according to this, he had a buy option clause that would be triggered given certain playing criteria, and it was triggered last year. I was like, what? Wow, okay. Update on the Real Madrid story. Sources are saying that they're expecting them to remove those officials and replace them with different officials. Of course, Real Madrid cry, and what a shock. They listen. Oh, game's gone, boys. But what is also gone is we're going off now. We're at the end of another episode. So, of course, proud to remind you of our partnership with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football support wellbeing and community. Check them out, headinthegame.co.uk. treat yourself well, because we're going to be back on Monday, and I'm going to talk about the Wolves-Leicester game and the NFL draft, but of course, winners and losers from the Everton game. So, till next time, that will be us. Signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.